everybody. Welcome to Bendy Back, sorry, on this Friday. Today, we're just gonna need a couple of tools to get started. I have pillows because I like them for my knees. A very useful skill or a useful tool is a belt, using my husband's belt. I'll get into the specifics of it, but it's to keep your elbows in line so they don't bow out like this. I want to keep them together. We'll get to all of that. And then also just a set of blocks. And if you don't have blocks, a water bottle, hardcover books, and then a chair or the side of a couch is also going to be useful or necessary. And with that in mind, let's get started. Here we go. With your loving hand out. We're just gonna start with some jumping jacks. High knees. Keep going. Keep going. Jumping jacks. And stop. Here. Step, touch. Arms up over the head. Roll the wrists. Stop here, twist. Bend, bring your arms up to the back corners. Slow it down. Roll the shoulders. 2, 3, and 4, and forward. 1, 2, 3, and 4. The head, side, side. Now to the side. Now forward and back. On the back, push your jaw forward to create an underbite. So down, down, and back. Stop. Reach in between the shoulder blades with your left hand, grabbing the right elbow. Tuck your pelvis under to the right. And up. Switch. Tuck the pelvis to the left. And up. Left arm across the chest. Thumb up and down. Up. And switch. Up and down. Good. And then interlace your fingers behind your back. Here. Bend the knees. Forward fold. Release the hands to the floor. Interlace your elbows and give yourself a gentle little sway. Interlace your fingers behind your neck and give your head a gentle little tuck here. Good. So from your forward fold, walk it out to a down dog, really keeping those shoulders nice and open. And then releve those toes, bend the knee, straight and flex. Releve, bend in the knee, straight and flex. Pedal those feet out. Now little push-ups in the arms. So there's gonna be 2 push-ups here. Elbows in line with the body and then wide. In line and wide. In and wide. 2 more. In and wide. Good. Come down to a tabletop. Good. So from your tabletop, we're just gonna do shoulder shrugs. You're squeezing the scapula or your shoulder blades together and then pushing out to create space. So there's a couple, 10 of those. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now a couple little cat-cows. You shake out your hips side to side, get a little warm up, whatever feels nice in your body for this first part. So we're gonna drop down for your cow and arch the head up. And on the arch up, again with the underbite, push that jaw forward to create that underbite. Get a little extra stretch in your neck. And round out for your cat. And round and arch. Round and arch. 2 more. Round and arch. Round and arch. Good. Curl those toes under. Push back up to a down dog. Here. And then try to jump forward in between those hands. Here. Straighten those legs for a forward fold. And bring it up. Up. Little cactus arms. Arch back. Arms up. Bring it down. Jump out to your plank. Little vinyasa flow, just 3 times. And back to your down dog. Jump forward. Bend in the knees, forward fold. Arms up. Cactus arms arch back. Arms up. Bring it down. Forward fold. Jump out to plank. Push up to Sphinx. Down dog. Just one more time. Jump in between the hands. Forward fold. Arms up. Cactus arms, arch back. And up, forward fold. Out to plank. Push-up position, arch up. And then find your child's pose for a moment. Good. Okay. So we're gonna do, I'm really gonna focus on the shoulders today. So we're gonna do a couple of drills on the wall to get started. I'm gonna get specific with the position here. So you wanna stand with your feet about hip width apart. We're gonna stand on the wall here. And the natural stance of your back, kind of wanna do that little S curve, right? We're gonna tuck the pelvis and keep the entire surface area of our spine making contact with the wall. Okay, I'm gonna actually lift this up a little bit so you can see. Thanks. Okay, so we're here, and then we're chair on the wall, right? So tuck that pelvis under, making contact with the wall the whole time. You're gonna bring your arms, so your triceps are parallel with the floor. You're making a 90-degree angle from the elbow. Now, We're gonna try to keep that angle as we lift our arms up above the head. And there's a point here where the elbows kind of wanna lift off the wall. So we only wanna go as high as we can stay making contact. Okay, so 8 times slow. Nice and slow, nice and slow, nice and slow. Really keep that contact with the wall. 2, 3, tuck the pelvis, squeeze the glutes. 4, oops, my elbows came out. 5, 6, 7, 8. Stop at 90. Here, so now we're just gonna bring them forward, back up. But keeping that angle in the elbows the whole time and still keeping that contact in your spine. You'll kind of feel your shoulder blades doing interesting things. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Come out of that. Whew. Feel a good warm sensation in your shoulders, I hope. Okay. So, next, and I'm gonna lower it again. Next, you're gonna want to grab 2 blocks, and if you don't have blocks, books are fine. Just get them next to you. Okay, so for this one, we are going to be face down on the floor, and we want a block in our hand or a water bottle or a book or whatever it is, the long way. So we're trying to keep our shoulders about hip width or shoulder width apart. Okay, so this first one here, oh, I'll switch so you can, more contrast. Okay, so for this first one, we've got the block in our hand. Okay, block in our hand, there we go. Block in our hand, and then elbows bent. And we're thinking about hugging our ears with our biceps, okay? So we're here, head is on the floor. We're tucking the pelvis, squeezing the glutes. For a little bonus, keep a block, oopsies. For a little bonus, keep a block in between your feet here. The long way. To help you remember to squeeze the glutes. Keep the legs in line. Okay, so we're tucking the pelvis, head is down. Okay, we're gonna lift the elbows up and straighten. Okay, and the whole time we're keeping the elbows lifted. So we're just bending straight. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now stop here. We're just gonna lift and lower. Lifting and lowering 10 times. 2, 3, 4, but think of your forearms going up the wall. So try not to bend them back too much. 5, 6, 7, 8 stays. Hold for 5, 4, 3. Are your biceps squeezing your ears? 2, 1, and down. Good, that is, yeah, this is a really, really great tool. The block in between your feet really forces you to squeeze there. That's nice. Okay, next, we're just gonna do a puppy press. So the first one, our hands are going to be on the blocks, either, well, the blocks are a choice, but they're definitely a benefit. Okay. So we're gonna do puppy press on the wall, which I can put this back here. Okay. So you got your blocks or your books, maybe they're pillows instead, whatever they may be. So we're gonna, on our knees, really think about that pelvis being tucked. You're squeezing the glutes. Arms are going up the wall. Oh, and I'm sorry. Also, now is the time to grab your belt or your strap. If you don't have one, that's okay. It's just really, really helpful to cue that external rotation. And I'm gonna get specific here. So if you're in your tabletop, right, you rotate your elbows forward and back, forward and back. We wanna maintain elbows forward, right? That external rotation, elbows forward. And then we are gonna have our band probably just below the elbows. Otherwise your head kind of gets in the way. Okay, now grab the blocks, or you can just do it fingers on the wall. Okay, right here. Tugging the pelvis, squeezing the glutes. Coming down until you feel a nice stretch in the upper mid-back. Here. Okay, so now we're gonna look forward and arch the lower back. And look forward. And then tuck the pelvis under and squeeze the glutes. So there. All the while we're keeping our shoulders nice and open. Tuck the pelvis, look forward. Sorry, that was an arch. Now tuck. And arch, look forward. Tuck the pelvis. Look in between the knees. 3. And tuck for 4. Arch, look forward, 5. Tuck the pelvis, look in between the knees. 6. Arch, look forward. Tuck the pelvis, squeeze the knees. 7, 1 more. Arch, look forward. And hold. Slowly come out, but don't lose your blocks or your pillows okay? So now we're gonna try to keep the contact, keeping the blocks at the wall here. We're gonna try to get our elbows onto them. Okay? We're here. You can be in prayer pose, hands together, or you can try to keep that shoulder width apart distance in the hands. If you want to put a block in between the hands there too, it's just a lot to manage with the band and the blocks up the wall. But bonus if you can. Okay, from here, we're just gonna arch. We're a little closer to the wall now, but we're gonna keep that bent elbows. Still thinking of reaching out from the shoulders, out and up. And tuck. And arch, look forward. And tuck. Good, good, good. So now, keep one block. We're gonna do just a quick little puppy press drill, but with your chin on the block. Okay. Yeah, this one we should do on the floor. So keeping the band here. I think the band has to go on the outside, but make sure that the band is still just below the elbows, right? And so now we're here. The band should be on the outside of the plug, otherwise it'll get stuck. Okay, right there. And then we're keeping our palms lifted off the floor. So little spider fingers. Here, right here. Chin on the block. Take the knees out. Now a little arch, look forward. And tuck. Now if that's pretty easy for you, keeping the knees in line with the hips, try it, knees a little wider. And tuck. And arch. And tuck. Last one. Slowly, slowly, slowly come out of that. Counter it. Okay. How do your shoulders feel? Nice and warm? Okay. So before we get into the real meat of everything, all the super bendy back stuff, I want to warm up with some abs, those lower abs here for a moment. And again, it's ideal for this exercise to keep a block in between the toes. Kind of cues you to squeeze the glutes. Okay. So the exercise is, hands can be wide in a T or down at a V near the hips. So we're finding our hollow body, right? We're gonna bend, straighten legs up the wall, and then little lift of the hips, but don't lift them forward, right? You wanna think of following the line of a wall. So we're trying to lift and shoot away. And then bend and a hollow body. 10 times. Bend, legs up the wall, lift, and hollow. 2. Up the wall, lift, bend, hollow body. 3. Lift, hollow for 4. Lift, hollow for 5. Lift, hollow for 6. Lift, hollow for 7. 3 more. Lift, hollow. Lift. 8. 1 more. Lift. Stay in hollow for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. All right. Get a sip of water real quick. Okay. So, here we go. We're gonna meet with our tummies on the floor. Tummies on the floor, and we're finding a Sphinx position. When you're ready for that. And I'm just gonna angle this a bit. Okay. So, we're meeting in Sphinx. Oh, and I mean, bonus if you struggle like I do to keep that tucked and your glutes engaged. It's kind of my kryptonite. So this is a bonus if you want to keep that reminder going, keep the block or the book or the water bottle, whatever it is, in between the legs. It really helps you pay attention to those cues. Okay, so we're squeezing the glutes, tucking the pelvis, sitting up and out over the shoulders, okay? This one is going to be initiated from the head, so we're gonna arch back, And on the arch back, again at the underbite, push that jaw forward. And we are thinking about pulling forward and arching one vertebrae at a time. And then pulling forward and unraveling really, really, really slow, really, really engaged. The slower we go, the more I'll try to keep reminding the little cues. Okay, so we're gonna go nice and slow 4 times. Up and out of the shoulders. Tuck the pelvis, get a nice good set. You want your elbows just under your shoulders for this. Here, and the head goes. Pull forward, arch back. 1, 2, 3, 4, down, 5, 6, 7, neutral head. 1. Pull forward, arch back. 1, 2, 3, 4, pull forward, 5, 6, 7, neutral head. Arch. 1, 2, 3, 4, pull forward, 5, 6, 7, neutral head. Last one. Last one stays high. Pull forward, squeeze the glutes, tuck the pelvis. Head goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. Good, hold here. Now bend the knees for 1, and 2, and 3, and tuck the pelvis, squeeze the glutes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now pull forward, unravel back to Sphinx. Woo! Push back to a little child's pose. Maybe give yourself some love taps. Okay. Woo! So now we're gonna get back into our tummies here. I wanna do just a couple of active drills before we get into the wall stuff. Okay, oopsies, keep that there. Keep that there. Okay. Now we're gonna lift the legs, but they're straight. We're still in our Sphinx pose here. We're lifting for 10, 9, 8, get out of the shoulders. 7, 6, squeeze the glutes. 5, 4, 3, straight legs. 2, 1. Now the arms go. Your arms can be behind the head, in an H. Yeah, just in an H or behind the head for this one. Okay, arms go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 feet, stay on the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now get that block out of the way. I want to do a little, it's a little momentum thing here. But if you lift the legs and arms at the same time here, and try to find a little rock, but moving as a unit. Here. Okay, just take a couple of those. Now, we are trying to arch up as high as we can using momentum, but for this one, the feet can stay on the floor. There's 2 options. You can just go real fast here, or ideally, we're gonna go slice and clap at the top, okay? 10 of those. Here we go. Make sure you don't hit anything. Here we go. Slice, clap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Push back to child's pose. Whew. Yeah. Okay. So now we're gonna meet on the wall here. Keep your blocks or your books or your water bottle or whatever you're using. We want a stability, so some sort of support on either side. Okay. So just have those close by for when we need them. Here and here. Okay, and we're gonna meet on the wall. The shin is gonna go up the wall. And we're gonna find that 90-degree lunge. Okay, good. I'm gonna use the gray. Yeah, maybe a long way. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna take my left shin up the wall to start. Okay. Now the front leg is in that nice 90-degree angle. Okay, the knee is stacked over the heel. Shin is up the wall and on some sort of knee support here. So now we're thinking of tucking the pelvis, squeezing the glutes. And now I'm gonna actually shift to the back wall so you can see what the front part of my body is doing, because the exercise is a port bra. Okay. Okay, left shin is up the wall. Thinking of all those cues, right? Nice 90-degree angle in that front leg. Tuck the pelvis, squeeze the glutes. Keep your hips in line, parallel with the floor. Okay, so if the right leg is forward, you're gonna lift the left arm high. And here's where you might want the support, on the outside of the right leg. So if your left arm is forward, here, we're gonna arch over to the side. Good. Now, keeping that shape, I'm gonna curl my toes under, so it's hurting me. Keeping that shape, we're gonna think of opening up to face the ceiling and down. Okay? For 8, and 7, and keep going, 6, and 5. Ugh, struggling today. 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. Now we're gonna get into a lunge. But for this lunge, I want your knee stacked over your heel, where we're opening up in the hip area. Okay, so for this first one, we're gonna have hands on either side of your front leg. And if you need supports on either side, I encourage that. Okay, so we're here now. Yes. Here. We're thinking of lifting the chest here, squeezing the glutes. Now we're taking the heel to booty for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, cramp, 1. Good. Good. Ooh. So now we're gonna find our half split. Keep that back foot up the wall. So from the lunge, straighten that front leg, flex that front foot, and forward fold. So that's our 1. And we're gonna go back to the lunge and arch back. And forward fold, half split. 2. Lunge, arch back. And half split, forward fold, flexed foot, 3. Lunge, arch back. Forward fold, half split for 4. Lunge, arch back. Forward fold, half split for 5. And forward fold, half split, 6. 2 more. Forward fold, half split, 7. Lunge, arch back. 1 more. Forward fold, half split with a flexed foot. We're going to stop in that lunge here for a moment. Okay, so gently come out. We're going to come right back to this. I just want you to grab a block now. And I'm going to talk about this. We're going to get into that lunge here, okay? Getting into that lunge. But with the block in our hands. And then if you need that belt to remember to keep those elbows in, great. This is a great place for it. Otherwise, just remember, elbows in. Don't let them bow out here. Keep them in. Okay, so we're finding that lunge. Arch back, but elbows are forward. Or elbows are squeezed in. We're arching back and finding some support on the wall. We're not in our deepest lunge yet until we feel secure on the wall. Now we're going to arch back. Okay. And then from there, you're going to think we're kicking the heel to the booty from this position for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly, slowly, slowly come out of that. Take a sip of water before getting into that other side. And I'm going to put a half sock on because that was rough on the top of my foot. Okay. So now we're starting on the other side, but we're in a port de bras. So that first one is a 90-90 angle. Right, so we're not opened up in our deepest lunge here. We're sitting up and we're really focused on, now it's the right shin up the wall. We're focusing on that right hip flexor. Okay, so forward leg is 90-degree angle. We're thinking of tucking the pelvis, squeezing the glutes, keeping your hips nice and parallel. Grab a block if you need it for the port de bras to the left. Okay, here we go, right arm high. Lean over to the left, and then we're opening up that elbow for 8, and 7, and squeeze the glutes. Think about the pelvis. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, now come forward for that lunge. And I'll switch to the side wall. And that lunge. Where our chest is lifted. Hands are on either side of the front leg. Okay, we're kicking heel to booty for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, squeeze the glutes, 2, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now forward fold half split with a flexed foot. Okay, nice deep forward fold. And then find that deep lunge, arch back for 1. Forward fold half split. And arch back for 2. Forward fold half split. Arch back for 3. Forward fold half split. Arch back for 4. Forward fold half split. Arch back 5. Forward fold half split. Going really slow here to really think about all those cues. Getting your arch back, squeezing the glutes. 6. Forward fold half split. 2 more. Arch back. 7. Forward fold half split. Arch back. Okay, good. Come out of that and meet again. Just grabbing your block. I'm going to do it from this angle this time so you can see what the elbows are doing. Okay, nice deep lunge. Well, not yet. So arms are going up overhead. Our biceps are squeezing the ears. We're bending the elbows here. Not here, here. So grounding on the wall here, right? Really getting some nice support. Now we're finding that nice deep lunge, but elbows stay here. Here, and now we're kicking heel to booty for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, it's getting a cramp. Ah! It's good though, it's good, it's good. We're using the right muscles. Good, slowly come out of that. Grab a drink of water. Okay, so now, just gonna check the time to see how much of this exercise we can get into. Yeah, we have time. Okay, so for this one, you'll want pillows on the wall or blocks. I find blocks more useful. You want them either flat or second tier. I mean, if you're really just ambitious, you can also do the top tier. Just make sure that you have a good amount of surface area for your knees. For today, I'm just gonna do them flat here for today. Okay, so now we're gonna meet on the wall. Our knees are gonna go up the wall. And if you'd also like pillows just under your tummy, that could be helpful too. And I mean comfortable, right? Okay, so knees up the wall here. I do want a little pillow under my tummy. There. Okay, so we're trying to keep our ankles, we don't want them to crisscross, right? We want to keep them nice and parallel. Okay. So from here, we're finding that Sphinx position. Elbows are stacked right under our shoulders or a little forward, whatever you're comfortable with. But just make sure that we're not dropping into the shoulders, right? We're sitting up nice and tall. Then also tucking the pelvis, squeezing, squeezing, squeezing the glutes. Now, we're gonna lift the knee up the wall, or excuse me, the right leg is gonna go up the wall for 1 and down. Does that make sense? Okay, so here we go. For 8. And tuck the pelvis, squeeze the glutes. 7. And 6, 5. Get out of those shoulders, tuck the pelvis, squeeze the glutes. 4, 3, tuck the pelvis, squeeze the glutes, get out of those shoulders. 2, last one holds for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow down, other side. Here we go, left side for 8 and 7 and tuck the pelvis, squeeze the glutes, get out of those shoulders. 6 and 5, 4. Ooh, this is my weird side today. 3. Get out of those shoulders. Tuck the pelvis, squeeze the glutes. 2. Last one stays. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to the knees. Okay, so really get up, reset the pelvis. Maybe push up to a seal. Right? Maybe not your fullest extension of seal, but this is a great time to straighten those arms. Think about the elbows externally rotating, so elbows up towards the ceiling. Okay, now we're gonna think of kicking the head. Here. Oh, sorry, one at a time. Right goes first. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Tuck the pelvis, squeeze the glutes. 3, 2, 1. Other side. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Tuck the pelvis, squeeze the glutes. 3, 2, 1. Now hold together here. Slowly, slowly, slowly come out of that. Push into your child's pose. Yeah, that's a spicy one, isn't it? Push into your child's pose. Forward fold. Give yourself some love taps. Take a sip of water. Oh, such a good one. Okay, I'm gonna grab water quick. We're gonna meet on our backs. Go ahead and lay down. Hug your knees in. Roll all of that out. Oh, that's our 5-minute warning. Okay. Give yourself a nice little happy baby moment. Rock side to side. And let's take it into a plow for a moment. Up over the head with the legs. So even here is a great opportunity to think about the pelvis for a moment. We're here. Think about tucking the pelvis and then shifting it overhead, a little micro movement, a little shift. Okay, now try that again. Think of tucking and squeezing, finding a little more space. Now bend one knee at a time. 1 and 2 and. Now try arching from the lower back, right? Arching. And now think about that tuck again. Tuck. Notice how much more space you have when that stays a little bit tucked here. And then slowly roll out of that. Okay. Now we're gonna end on wheel or bridge. So you can either place your heels as close to the booty as you can. I like to have feet on blocks on the wall, as so, but you could also have hands on the block. I'll show both. I will also show bridge. This from here, right? We're thinking of squeezing those knees in, tucking the pelvis, squeezing the glutes. Okay, from there, or also a great time for that band exercise, just below the elbows. Get it under your head to start. It just really reminds you to keep your elbows close into the head. Here. Okay, now push up into your wheel. Pushing up. Here, just take a couple rocks. Now maybe walk your hands in a little bit. Play with what the pelvis is doing. Try to sit and then tuck. Slowly, slowly, slowly come out of that. This is just bonus to help with those elbows. Not necessary, but it is a good cue. The feet in the blocks helps you open up in the shoulders if you struggle with going into your wheel and you kind of planche or stay closed in the shoulders. If that's not a problem for you, hands on the blocks on the wall is also really great. Gives you a little extra lift to play around with what the legs can do. Push up into that. Maybe releve or flat foot. Take a couple rocks. And then knees to chest. Give yourself a nice little roll out. And a happy baby. Gonna sit up. Make sure you're getting some nice little love taps up and down that back. And drink plenty of water. Okay. Whew. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Please do let me know if you have any questions about at-home equipment or like what alternatives to use if you don't have blocks. Also, if you have any questions about that external rotation in the shoulder thing, right? Yeah, I'm really open to questions, so please let me know. And I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you.